the structure to us in everything, all of it, does seem remarkable.
In a no mistakes type of way.
Yeah, in a synchronistic sort of a way.
Which flies in the face of the accidental Big Bang, nothing from nothing way of thinking. And it always has been.
Well, that's what I think, like in the beginning there was light, when they talk about that. If you were going to describe the beginning of the universe, even if you're describing the Big Bang, which there's a lot of speculation that wasn't necessarily the beginning, that there might be a continuous cycle of these events happening over and over again. But if you were talking about a creation story, you would say in the beginning there was light. Because there was a fucking enormous amount of light. It created the entire universe.
Literally.
Right. I think.
Which is all it says. And here's, like, whatever they say that hell or Hades is in any of these religions worldwide, it is the perfect description for what a black hole is in real life.
It is. You fall through forever.
A bottomless pit.
Yeah. Where time doesn't exist.
Where time does not exist. Where you don't die, but you don't exit. Where the information, like,
and it eats stars.
Right. But it eats stars and galaxies, all that, right? But we can have multiple of them, and everything will still be okay.
They're the center. The center of
that's
every
the
galaxy.
flex.
Yeah,
that's
we're fine
flex.
with them.
Right.
It's like if you live in Africa, you got to deal with lions.
What's this thing? Oh, it kills everything.
Right.
Everything what? Everything it touches.
Everything. It's going to get us eventually, but not now.
What, you mean you have two of them?
They find them floating around.
They find them.
They find them floating around.
Right.
I mean, they noticed them.
Yeah.
They noticed that they're out there floating around.
Yeah.
They found one that's so fucking big. We did this thing when we played a video of how small the Earth is in comparison to the sun, how small the sun is in comparison to giant stars, and how small giant stars are into the most massive, supermassive black hole that they know currently. It's bananas.
Our perfect habitat is so perfect that anyone universally with sense would say, whew, location. You know?
Like the greatest real estate agent ever.
If the moon or the sun were further back, we'd
be fucked.
Yeah, or
closer.
Or like the whole thing is, someone later saying, do you think Beverly Hills was, you think this was an area they built on purpose? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Was. Oh, don't let me.
Oh. Just imagine if the moon was slightly smaller. Just imagine.
Look.
Imagine if the Earth was slightly further away from the sun.
They know that it's to the point where some of it might have been artificially done, and they're aware of that. They're aware of the true specifics of the moon.
Solar system? Oh, the moon.
Right.
I've heard that theory. That's a wild theory.
Well, some of it's not theory. Like I was on that subject as a teenager, but as a grown person is when the thing happened where they hit it with the missile and it rang like a bell.
Yeah.
Like certain things are.
What was the explanation for that? Because it did have some sort of a crazy like.
The question is, who will offer an explanation?
Right.
Because it wasn't like that. They didn't just do it once. Like all accounts say, it rang like a bell for hours and hours and hours. Like,
imagine if that's a feature for a stable planet that they put there.
Well, that's how Xbox works.
Really?
Or PlayStation. I'm an Xbox guy, but I'm saying, you have your gaming system, and it just requires that and your Wi-Fi nearby, and bam,
Right.
make things happen. And so many of our things globally, we come by understanding that, and the magnetics and dynamics and things that really work.
There's a lot of people that think that whatever we're seeing isn't just from another planet, but from another dimension. That they're dimensional travelers. That they have access to places that we don't have access to. Because we're too primitive. We can't wrap our head around it. As a civilization, we haven't reached the ability to transcend, but that they can, and that they're here all the time.
Well, the way we look at it, we're the greatest spot in the universe, but the travelers don't lead us to believe that.
Well, there's always competition. There's always going to be a greater civilization than the one previous. There's always going to be more. There's always going to be more. If people are going to innovate to the point where they're going to make spacecrafts, that means these people are competing with each other. These things, whatever they are, they're still, they must be in some sort of competition. There must be something that motivates them. And so,
right, but at that level, competition is healthy, and there are no unhealthy components.
Hopefully.
So, well, no,
Yeah.
not hopefully, definitely. Once we're all building space, personal space contraptions for ourselves, we're going to push one another. It's not just. We're going to all want the best one.
Yeah.
And we're going to insist that be the case, just like we do with cars.
when I said hopefully, what I mean is that, like, hopefully they will be, like, healthy, friendly competition. That's what motivates them. What's not hopeful is that they could be robotic, emotionless things that have transcended biological needs, and that they just have a function. That function is seeding intelligent life in the universe and establishing, just like you would be a farmer and you would go out and leave hay for the animals.
Needs are primitive.
Yeah, they are primitive, but we're always moving into some more and more complex direction. Technologically, it seems like that's never going to stop.
Right.
And the only thing that makes sense to me is that we're doing something because that's like what we're literally designed to do. We have all these things that sort of motivate people, and greed and lust and curiosity.
Yeah.
But what we're doing is we're always making better things.
Yeah.
Constantly making better things, which would lead ultimately to the creation of a higher life form, some more intelligent, emotionless being.